Blessings and peace. Let us take a moment to settle, to feel the vibration of Mother Earth beneath us, Father Sky above us. To allow the breath to fill our hearts with a sense of peace, a sense of blessing within the stillness that comes from this connection between our hearts, between heaven and earth. As we connect through the threads of our hearts with everyone we know, with everyone we love and care about. As we allow that caring to grow within our hearts, we allow it to expand, to reach out and touch the hearts of those we do not know, of those who are suffering, of those who are living in fear, perhaps, those who are not well, those who are homeless upon the streets, who have to find a place to lay their heads in the cold nights of winter, those who do not have enough. Let us extend that field of our hearts to touch all those who suffer, the children, those who do not have food on their tables, those who live under repression. Let us extend our love, our compassion, and our blessings, that each one may find upon their path that place of light, that place of home, that place of fulfillment. For each one comes upon their journey. Each one has arrived with the full complement of karma, of that which they have set up for themselves as their contract, as their agreement, as their mission, as that sense of purpose, perhaps that they have forgotten as they have grown, as they have dealt with those things which in the world of third dimensionality, of flesh and blood, have to be dealt with, such as those basic comforts we had mentioned in the beginning. So it is important to understand that each one carries their burdens, their hopes, their visions, their longings, and their suffering. Each one carries their dream of what could be, of what they could be, perhaps of who they are in truth. Each one carries some vague remembrance of their time beyond this time and space of 2021. This December day, the 14th day in the Gregorian calendar, as you approach the winter solstice, the season of lights, the time of the greatest darkness, and the beginning, the budding once again of that glimmering of light as it returns, as the warmth of the sun begins to grow and it begins to shine upon you again. One season follows the next. 1 year, one epoch, one civilization. Everything is cycle. Everything is change. As it is said, that which goes up will eventually come down, and that which goes down at some point will rise again. It is important to remember the essence of patience, that place where you understand the cyclical nature of your time, of your space, of your lifetimes, and of your moments, your breaths, your heartbeats. And as you have an awareness of the turning of the tides, of the changing of the seasons, of the beauty of each season as it comes, perhaps a little nostalgia or sadness as a particular season begins to morph and leave, and a new one shows up that may or may not be as full of pleasant memories as was the previous. It is so important as you begin to understand the nature of change that you allow yourself to find a place of composure within the center. That which is termed the center of the hurricane, where the stillness dwells, where nothing can faze you, where the opening of your heart remains constant, consistent, and where the clarity remains with you, within your mind and within your heart, and where that connection of the above and the below weaving its way into your heart, and from your heart out into all of life, into all of society, to all of nature, and into all worlds and dimensions. For as you grow, as you stabilize your field, your energy, you become stronger, and the field that surrounds you, that radiates from you, that field that is emitted in a spiral cyclical manner, that which we call the Christ consciousness that radiates out with that little extra bit of light that you have accumulated, so that you send it to those who need it the most, to touch the hearts, to touch the shoulders of those who have forgotten, and remind them of their true nature as light, as love, as the essence of God's love made manifest in third dimensional flesh and blood, within the framework of a personality, within the framework of fulfillment of karmic responsibility, to bring balance to yourself, your light, your family, to bring balance to the world around you through service, through love, through non-judgment, through the acceptance of the reality of each one, understanding that your judgment of another does not hold water. It does not have a foundation of truth, because each one has their journey. Each one has chosen their life path, And each one has contracted to fulfill the balance sheet that they left unfulfilled in their last incarnation. And so you understand the need for compassion. You understand why that one that everyone adores, the Dalai Lama, calls his religion the religion of kindness. For what is kindness but that expression of a loving heart, accepting all, accepting the foibles, accepting the downfalls and the risings up of each one upon their path. Perhaps you have come here to fulfill your destiny, to complete your cycle of lifetimes. It would not be surprising if at this time in the complete evolution of your planet, of Mother Earth, of Gaia, that you are at a place within your consciousness where it is understood well within you that you have been around the block many times now. You have become street smart, spiritually so. You have begun to understand the place of love, of non-judgment, of acceptance, and of compassion towards that which you regard as the other. Because deep down, embedded within that seed, within your heart, within that soul seed that dwells within you, that is your connection to that space beyond this life, where you came from. You understand that there is this completion now, that you have made agreements and contracts with your highest self and your soul and your guardians, spirits, and angels, with your destiny path. You have decided it is enough. Your street smart spiritual ability to know, to let go, to love, and to accept has brought you to this place of completion. And it is fitting that within that agreement to come and complete, you have also agreed to be a teacher, to be a way shower, to be a guide for others, and to be an example, an exemplar, a model of how it is to live impeccably, to live following your heart, with your heart open, to live within a framework of acceptance of the reality of another, that which is the definition of love. And to bring the service of your gift, that understanding that you accrue of love, of self, of understanding that there is no higher and no lower, no better and worse, that each one is equal in the eyes of God, or the eyes of the divine. And so you recognize that your role here is to be a way shower of the way, the path, what we call the path of the spiritual warrior, of that one who chooses to be impeccable and to always examine every thought, every word, every belief, and every truth that is thrust upon you for your acceptance, that you do not accept any truth unless it resonates within your heart, unless you feel comfortable when you consider that truth, unless you feel that there is an alignment with your highest purpose and your greatest sense of what you feel is a spiritual reality that you live by, that you practice, and that you walk your talk instead of talking without the walk. And so you begin to look within you at your ideas and your beliefs, your emotions, your behaviors, your story. You begin to examine your story and you consider whether perhaps most of what you were taught to believe is not accurate and does not resonate. And much that you have learned to feel, to do, and to talk about, you understand is not necessarily your truth. And we ask you to look within the heart to determine where you stand within this examination of your beliefs, of your emotional responses to those triggers that arise within you. You understand that blaming another for your experience is not part of a universal truth that makes sense. For each one is responsible for those feelings, for those triggers. Each one will face their own karma. They will face the results of their actions as they return to them, for them to experience. It is as if you throw the ball and it bounces back off of the wall and will hit you in the nose if you're not careful. So you must be very aware and careful as to what you throw out, especially at people. For your world has had a long history of judging, of harming, of dehumanizing those other yous within the structure of many billions of people. It is hard sometimes to gather your energy and hold a particular way of being that is strong and connected to Mother Earth, that is grounded and anchored in a solidity that allows you to feel a sense of inner security, so that you are not always looking outside of yourself, whether it be for answers, for sustenance, for substance, for truth, or for validation. It is important that you understand that you are lovable no matter what you think, that you do not need to consider what others' opinions of you may be for you to recognize that it does not matter what others think of you. That is their business, not yours. That you cultivate a love, an acceptance, and a growing sense of your own inner beauty as a foundation for you to base your understanding of who you are upon, so that you surround yourself each day with a sphere of light, with a column of light that reaches into heaven and into earth from your heart and establishes around you a sacred space, a space of protection, a space of integrity and alignment with a field of order, with a field of union, and with a field of truth, based upon the understanding that you have that truly you are light and that nothing can harm light. So it is that every day you create a practice, which we highly recommend, in which you foundation yourself connected to Mother Earth, so that you have a sense of place, of placement, a personal feng shui, that you are here, that you have the right to be here, that you are a part of Mother Earth, and that you are a part of a greater whole at the same time, that you have an identity, a personality, an ego, a sense of who you are, and that you also have a more universal and collective energy of connection with all of humanity, with all of life, with all of that which we call the cosmos, all of that which exists within the mind of God, that which we say and call the all that is, that self-generating, self-sustaining energy of the most incredible intelligence that could have created you, that was the source of your consciousness, of your sense of being and of your existence. And that energy loves you. That energy has given you free will, has given you the ability to manipulate energy for your highest good, and also to be able to choose to manipulate energy for the lowest, for the harm of others. And you have always been able and given the choice as to which is the right way for you. For there is no right and there is no wrong. There is only life and that which is anti-life. You look at it from the perspective of light and dark. And yet it is necessary to understand that darkness is the seed from which all things grow. It is the center of your black hole, where you may find another universe. It is the place where all the plants derive their nourishment from. And it is that place within you where you must sometimes retreat to recreate, to find once more the strength, to find the stability, to find that place of groundedness, so that you can spring forth again like the sprouts from the seeds that break their way through the pavement, reaching for the greater light, reaching for the oxygen, reaching for love and sharing, for communication and connection. For you are like these seeds that have grown to be the mighty tree, with your roots within the earth and your canopy within heaven. And both your roots and your canopies reach out and connect with those companions that grow alongside of you, whether they be on feet, or they be on roots, or they have wings, or they crawl within the earth. For all of life is connected. All of life is an expression of the love of Creator, that which created your planet as a Garden of Eden, as a library of information, of consciousness and intelligence. That which is working towards its self-fulfillment as forms of life that honor and respect and give praises to the creation energy of that great intelligence that you call God. And so we are urging you to understand that there is a balance point within each life. It is important to understand that you are neither one nor the other. You are not male and not female, but a combination of the two, masculine and feminine, positive and negative, above and below. You are a mixture of heaven and earth, angelic and human. You are a unique creation that is dearly loved in all the realms, in the realms of heaven and light, and even in the realms of earth, within the kingdoms that dwell within the earth and that serve the plant kingdoms and the elven and the gnomes and all the other little ones that dwell within the middle and the lower earth. And within the very depths of Mother Earth, where the great heat, the magma is, there are little beings you call bacteria and viruses that are able to thrive in any environment, that have adapted. For life is the most powerful energy in the whole of the cosmos. And life was your gift, the gift of Creator. Honor life. Work for its honoring, its respecting. Allow yourself to be a servant of life. For as you are a servant of life, you are a servant of light. You have come to be for a purpose. You have manifested into this life for a purpose. It is to amplify the light, to send it forth, to touch those hearts that suffer. When you do this, you create the greatest satisfaction that a human being can experience. The knowing that your life has served to help another, to bring forth some warmth of heart and smile and joy in the heart of another. Especially in this season that comes upon you now, that time of the birth of the sun, that celebration of that birth of the one who came to bring forth the message of love, of forgiveness, of comfort, whether it be a mythological or a real human character, is irrelevant. For each year, in each culture, in each civilization, in each eon, in each sign of your zodiacs, there has been this celebration of this time of the renewal of the light, of the death and resurrection, the depth and the height the coming and the going, the knowing, the forgetting, the remembering. Remember that you are light and that your light is vital, that every time you bring a smile, every time you touch a heart, the whole universe ripples with its expression and vibration. You are here, and perhaps this is your moment, your lifetime of completion, and perhaps you will leave behind you a heritage of the new earth, a heritage of a world of peace, as they say, peace on earth and goodwill to all humans and creatures and all life, not just men. Remember to celebrate by being in your heart, for that is where celebration happens. Remember to gather with your friends and loved ones, to share your stories, your songs, your dance, your expressions of love, your exchanges of gifts, the greatest gift being your love. For it is a time, as you approach these coming years, where the transitions, the birthing, will require some travail, some hardships, some suffering, some loss. And yet, in the eyes of all that is, it is but a phase moving towards a higher reality, towards peace on earth, goodwill, honoring, towards harmony, cooperation, and the restoration of purity and innocence, the purity of the air and the water, of the hearts. The ways in which you live have become unsustainable. Your technologies are destroying life, including your own. Be aware that the technologies that you have come to depend upon perhaps one day will be your downfall if you do not approach them with the utmost clarity and with care. It is time for a reassessment as you move toward the closing of your Gregorian year, as you move towards that time of the standing still of the sun, that moment of poise between worlds, between years, that moment when the light is being reborn from the dark. Hold your hearts proud, knowing that you do your best, that you keep your word, that you honor and respect that which you say you will do, that you take time out from the busyness, from the rush, from the haste and urgency. Take time to smell the roses, for there will be roses in the snow. There will be miracles and magic. There will be grace and ease and abundance for all when the hearts open, when that which is causing suffering ceases to wish harm on another, when the respect for life becomes your new religion instead of the old ones that destroy, that judge, that separate and divide. Hold in your heart the truth that you are all one, that we are all one, that there is only one expression, many different aspects of that expression. There are many different facets to the diamond that shines in the heart of the one. And each one is a single facet, reflecting that beauty, that golden energy of love that emanates from the center of your galaxy, from your center of all the worlds that watch over you and love you, that have generated you and that have birthed you. Give honor to the one heart, for it is your Savior. We love you. We are with you always. We shine upon you and within you. May you have a blessed holiday season, a holy day season, a time of great joy for that birth within the heart of the sun, of the light of the one. Blessings and peace to you all.